Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want you to picture this for a moment. You're walking down the street, maybe grabbing a coffee, maybe lost in your own thoughts, and suddenly a younger woman catches your eye. She smiles. Not the polite smile people give strangers out of habit, but that real one, the one that lingers for just a second longer than it should, and immediately your mind goes racing. Why? What is she seeing? What is it about me that drew that expression out of her? Most men shrug it off, assuming it's meaningless. But here's the truth you were never told. Those smiles aren't accidents, and they're not always about youth, looks, or money. They're about something much deeper, something you've earned without even realizing it. And that's why it unsettles you, because for years you were told women only wanted men who were their age, who were flashy, who were dripping in confidence. But life has a way of exposing lies. Younger women smile at older men, not because of what they lack, but because of what they finally see. Stability, depth, presence. That smile, whether she's fully aware of it or not, is her subconscious recognizing you as a man who has lived. A man who carries stories in his silence, weight in his posture, calmness in his presence. It's not about you chasing her. It's about her sensing something magnetic without you saying a single word. And yet, so many of you don't believe this. You dismiss it as coincidence or you chalk it up to her being nice. But here's the thing. A woman's smile is rarely random. It's an instinct, a reaction, a signal. Younger women don't smile at you because of what you could be. They smile because of what you already are. The man you've become after years of trial, failure, and survival is infinitely more attractive than the boy still trying to prove himself. That's the piece older men keep missing. You've been taught to envy the young guy in the corner with his loud laugh and restless energy. But you don't see that. When she smiles at you, she's telling you silently, you're different. You're rare. You're steady. And that more than anything makes her feel safe enough to let her guard down, even for just that one glance. Think about this carefully. Why would a younger woman who seemingly has her pick of men her age direct her attention toward you? The answer is both simple and shocking. She's not just looking for excitement, she's looking for certainty. Younger men can offer her adrenaline, but they cannot offer her assurance. Their world is chaos, ego, and constant competition, and she feels it. With you, she sees something entirely different. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone anymore. You've seen enough of life to know that validation doesn't come from strangers, and that quiet confidence radiates from you even when you say nothing. That is what makes her smile. Because in that moment, you remind her of the calm she craves, but has never found in men her own age. And here's the part most men overlook. Women don't smile at men they find insignificant. A smile is an invitation, a signal that she feels compelled to bridge the gap between her world and yours. When she smiles at you, she's acknowledging that you have something she values: wisdom, maturity, composure. She senses you won't play games, that your energy doesn't of desperation, that you're not a boy fumbling to impress her, but a man who doesn't need her validation to stand tall. That shift alone creates a powerful attraction, one you might be too blind to even notice. But let's dig deeper. When a younger woman smiles at an older man, she's also testing something inside herself. She wants to know, can I capture his attention? Can I feel what it's like to be noticed by a man who carries himself with quiet authority? That's not vanity, it's biology, because women are drawn to strength, to stability, to protection. And while her peers may still be stumbling through life, you already embody what she instinctively desires. A man who knows who he is. She's not smiling at your wrinkles or your grey hairs. She's smiling at the evidence that you've endured, that you've fought battles and survived. She's smiling because without words, you tell her something powerful. I'm not here to play. I already know the rules of life. So when you catch that fleeting glance and that quiet smile, don't brush it off as meaningless. Understand it for what it is, a reflection of the man you've become and the way women, even unconsciously, are drawn to it. The truth is, she may not even fully realize why she smiled, but you must. Let me tell you something few men ever grasp. Youth isn't her greatest currency, and age isn't your greatest weakness. The very thing you fear is what draws her in. Because while younger men chase her with frantic energy, you carry something rarer, a sense of time. You understand patience. You understand silence. You understand that a man doesn't need to explode into a room to be noticed. He can sit quietly and yet still command attention. That smile she gives you is her subconscious acknowledging this difference. She may not articulate it, but she feels it. She feels the steadiness in the way you stand, the way you pause before speaking, the way you don't rush to fill silence with nervous chatter. That restraint is magnetic. It signals control. And control is something women crave in a world overflowing with chaos. You see, for her, younger men are still trying to build themselves. They are still guessing who they are, still grasping for identity, still desperate to be seen. But you've already lived through that fire. You've been broken, rebuilt, and sharpened by reality. She looks at you and senses depth. She sees that behind your eyes are lessons written in scars, triumphs, failures, and wisdom. That's why she smiles, because even if she doesn't know your story, she feels it radiating from you. Women are intuitive far more than men realize, and they can sense when a man's energy carries gravity. But here's the twist. You often dismiss yourself because society taught you that your value declines with age. You've been told that youth is everything, that once the lines appear on your face and the fire of reckless ambition dims, you fade into the background. That's a lie designed to weaken you. Women are wired to see beyond the surface. That smile is proof that your maturity, your resilience, your quiet dominance speaks louder than superficial charm. The younger men may get her attention for a night, but you capture her curiosity in a way that lingers. You leave her wondering, what would it feel like to be with a man who already understands life, who doesn't flinch under pressure, who knows how to guide, protect, and challenge me? And here's the hidden truth. Her smile isn't just attraction, it's recognition. Recognition that she's in the presence of a man who no longer seeks to prove himself, but simply is. That's why she smiles at you. There's a reason her smile feels different when it's directed at you. It carries weight, a subtle admiration that younger men never notice because they don't have to. They've never earned it. You see, a younger woman isn't smiling because she sees you as some old relic of the past. She's smiling because she sees something timeless, a strength that doesn't fade with age. That smile says, you are anchored. And I want to feel what it's like to stand near that anchor. Think about it. The world she lives in is frantic. Everyone her age is scrambling for likes, status, temporary highs. She's surrounded by uncertainty, instability, men who talk loud but deliver nothing. And then she sees you, a man who doesn't need to shout, a man who doesn't fumble for approval, a man who radiates certainty with just a glance. That contrast shakes her. But here's the truth most older men miss. Her smile isn't only about attraction, it's about safety. Women rarely admit it, but safety is the deepest form of desire. She isn't smiling because she imagines you as a plaything. She's smiling because Some instinct in her whispers, "This man could steady me. This man could guide me. This man could protect me." Younger men can't give her that because they don't even feel safe within themselves yet. They're still figuring out who they are. You've already done that work. That's why you underestimate your power, because it doesn't roar. It hums. It doesn't scream. It resonates. Understand this. When a woman smiles at you, she's revealing a crack in her armor. It's vulnerability. Even if she hides it behind playful eyes, she's not handing it out for free. She's testing, observing, wondering if you'll recognize what she's really saying. The question is, do you or do you dismiss it, convincing yourself it means nothing? That you're invisible? That you've aged out of desire? That's the tragedy. Men sabotage themselves by ignoring signals they've already earned. You don't have to chase validation. The smile proves it's already there. What you must learn is to hold it, not squander it. To recognize that this is not charity from her, but respect for you. And respect, when nurtured, can evolve into attraction far deeper than anything a younger man could spark. She sees you as a man who is not guessing anymore. You've arrived. That is why she smiles. Here's the paradox no one tells you. While you're worrying that your age is a disadvantage, she's secretly admiring it. The lines on your face, the calm in your voice, the patience in your movements. These are signals to her that you've lived through storms she's never faced. And whether she admits it or not, women crave a man who has weathered life and still stands tall. That smile she gives you is her subconscious whispering. This man has survived, and survival is attractive. Younger men can flex their energy, but they can't fake endurance. They can show off ambition, but they can't simulate wisdom. And wisdom is irresistible because it promises her one thing she cannot buy: security of the mind and heart. Think about it. When she looks at you, she doesn't just see a man, she sees a mirror of what she wants to feel. If you are grounded, she feels grounded. If you are composed, she feels safe. If you are confident without arrogance, she feels admiration without hesitation. Her smile is her body's way of saying, "You've triggered something I didn't expect to feel." And that's why you need to stop dismissing yourself. Too many men sabotage this by either ignoring the signal or overreacting to it. Some stare too long, some shrink back into insecurity, and some ruin it by turning that smile into a validation drug. But the strongest men recognize it for what it is: a gift, a moment of silent recognition that doesn't need to be chased, only understood. And here's where the truth cuts deep. Most of you never truly believed women could desire you more as you got older. You thought desire was for the young, that once your hair thinned or silvered, you were done. But the world doesn't work that way. Attraction evolves. And so does the lens through which women see men. She's not smiling because she pies you. She's smiling because she senses something rare in today's world: masculine certainty without desperation. That's why her smile rattles you. Deep down, it's showing you a reflection of your true value, the one you've been blind to for years. Understand this. That one smile, that one glance is not random. It's a breadcrumb, a signal, a subtle door opening. And whether you step through it or not depends entirely on whether you finally believe you're worth it. Let me strip away the illusions once and for all. When she smiles at you, it isn't about lust in the shallow way you might think. It's about curiosity. It's about her wondering, what would it feel like to be around a man who doesn't crumble? You see, most younger women live in a world where men their age are still unstable, financially, emotionally, spiritually. Those men are chasing dreams, chasing validation, chasing women, but rarely grounded in themselves. You, on the other hand, stand as proof that a man can go through the fire and come out stronger. That's the difference she feels, even if she can't put it into words. Her smile is her way of testing if her instinct is right. And here's the part most men miss. Women smile at possibility, not certainty. She doesn't know your life story, but she senses one. She doesn't know your struggles, but she feels the weight of them in your presence. That smile is her subconscious asking, could this man show me something I've never experienced before? And often the answer is yes. Not because you're perfect, but because you're real. Younger men mask their flaws with bravado. You wear your scars with quiet dignity, and that's what draws her in. But you have to be careful. This is where many men sabotage themselves. They mistake her smile for instant approval, for guaranteed interest, and they rush in, smothering the moment with neediness. That kills the attraction instantly. The true power lies in your restraint. In meeting her, smile with calm acknowledgement, not desperate pursuit. That composure tells her everything. This man doesn't chase, he attracts. And once she senses that, her curiosity only deepens. Now, think about this. Why do so many younger women who smile at older men later confess that what drew them in wasn't looks, wasn't status, but presence? Because presence cannot be faked. It's the accumulation of years lived, mistakes learned from, pain endured, and victories earned. That's what you radiate without even trying. And that is why she smiles at you. Because in a world full of men pretending, you are one of the few who simply exists as you are. So stop brushing it off. Stop telling yourself it means nothing. That smile is a doorway, but whether it opens wider or slams shut depends on how you carry yourself after. Respect it, and it can change everything. Here's the truth that should shake you. When a younger woman smiles at you, she's not just reacting to your presence. She's revealing her own longing. It's a glimpse into what she secretly desires, but rarely admits. A man who knows how to lead without controlling, protect without smothering, guide without preaching. That smile is her instinct signaling. This man could be different from the rest. And yet the tragedy is that so many men let the moment slip, either out of disbelief or fear. You think you're invisible, but her eyes already told you otherwise. You think you're too old, but her body has already betrayed her curiosity. The smile is evidence. It's proof that what you've built through years of life has more value than you ever dared to believe. Now, let's be brutally honest. Women don't waste their energy on men they find weak or irrelevant. They don't smile at men they don't notice. They don't risk sending signals unless something inside them feels compelled to. So the next time it happens, remember this. She's not smiling at you out of politeness. She's smiling because she senses your quiet strength. And whether she acts on it or not, she's revealing the magnetic pull you carry. That's the truth you are never supposed to know. The world wants you to think your best days are behind you, that only youth holds power. But her smile is living proof that your value doesn't decay, it compounds. The only question is, will you recognize it? Will you stop dismissing yourself? Stop shrinking back. Stop thinking that attraction belongs only to the young. Because the reality is this. She already noticed you. She already sent the signal. You don't need to chase or beg. All you need to do is own who you are without apology. That smile was never an accident. It was recognition. And once you understand that, you'll never look at yourself or her the same way again. So, let me ask you, When was the last time a younger woman smiled at you and you actually allowed yourself to believe what it meant? Drop your answer in the comments below. And if this message struck something inside you, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. Because the truth is, you're far more powerful than you realize. And it's time you finally see.